He's not just a coach, he's not just a friend. I mean, he's a mentor.
I mean, he changed my life.
It was a special feeling strapping up a Culver Bulldog singlet and stepping on the mat.
He's just there for you all the time.
A lot of respect to that man.
You gotta respect what he's done here in Culver.
I always tell people that being a wrestling coach isn't any different than being a heroin addict or something. The only difference is if you're an addict of a drug, a few bucks in your pocket, you can predict your next high. You never know when that's gonna come as a wrestling coach. You just gotta be ready to jump on and dig your heels in and hang on, because you don't know how long it's gonna last, but you sure as hell don't wanna get bucked off.
He made me a promise when I first wrestled, because I played basketball and I was supposed to be a basketball star. And he made me a promise that we were gonna go places, and that promise came true.
Go Dogs! Legs back, belly wrap works with your legs back. We wrestle for big championship! Chest down! Chest down!
I think that he puts all of his time and effort into it.
You know, when you walk through my locker room, slap your two hands up on the door and it's time to wrestle. Probably one of the best guys I've ever met. So.
He's just an amazing person to be around, honestly.
He's as good a man as there is.
He just tells us, you know, if you want to be a champ, you gotta act like a champ.
Come here, buddy. Here, right here. Right here. Hey, toes up. Good job. As long as I've been a wrestling coach, I've had a Chesapeake dog. That is dog number 4. And one of those deals, I just got one of those when I first got married, and for some reason that's the one for me, I guess. Every wrestling coach should have a dog trained to eat basketballs. And mine's really good at it. Aren't you, buddy? Yeah. Lots of people, lots of coaches can put a team together around their kid or a group of kids or something, and kind of a little bit of a flash in the pan, but our flash has almost lasted 20 years. That's a pretty hot fire. And I don't see it slowing down too much in the near future.
He's devoted to the program. I mean, he was born and raised in Culver, been here his whole life. He's invested in the community. He wants to see not just the wrestling program, he wants to see all of Culver sports, you know, hit that next level.
It's the only house I've ever lived in. I get to the end of the driveway and I can't find any place better to be, so I turn around and come back.
He was a Culver boy, you know. He grew up here, his roots are here, went to college, came back, you know, so a lot of the kids, he can relate to him, you know, a bunch of farm kids around here.
I guess since day one, I was either going to be a wrestling coach at Culver or I wasn't going to be a wrestling coach. Put a run together that spans almost 2 decades. I think that speaks volumes to your entire community and the passion that exists within Culver. One thing we always say, particularly in lean times, that, you know, the thing about tradition is from time to time you get to lean on it for a little bit of help. You can't count on it. It can't carry you forever. But I think when a kid draws a Culver kid in the state tournament, some of this weighs heavy on them, and it lightens our step just a little bit at the same time. So I think that's probably the biggest thing, is just be proud of who we are today and where we came from and where we're headed.
It didn't just stop when we left, you know. It just keeps going and keeps going. It keeps inspiring these kids. There's still kids Immaculate, like, oh, they wide-eyed, you know, and they're like, they want that. They want to be under that light. They want to, you know, hear that crowd roar.
Some of those stories took years to get there, and only you and that kid in the mat, and maybe his parents, and a select few others know the backstory. And it's just, can't be replaced, can't be bought. And it's the best.
He makes you want to work hard for him. It's not just teaching the wrestling moves, you know, it's teaching you lessons about life.
We love the part about Rocky in Rocky IV when he goes off to Russia and trains in a cabin in a snow pile and moves rocks and chops wood. And, you know, sometimes as a 2A school without a deep budget and fancy weight rooms and strength and conditioning coaches, we think we need all that stuff, but really a pile of rocks, a hay bale, and a pickup to push probably do all we need to do. And, you know, lots of things that way, but, yeah.
We the champ!
Athleticism, speed, and power and strength, it helps, but not near as much as mental toughness.
Dig deep, dig deep! Gonna start getting harder!
You know, morning runs, you know, keep grinding that in your head, you know, and just, you know, every day, you know, making yourself better, a better person on and off the mat, you know, look good, feel good.
Who the champ? What we wrestling for? Get to the room, get your shoes scared.
I love the Rocky movies. They're pretty good. Just keep continuing down the road there. I don't know why I pulled off at the market. I thought maybe we might need a maple bar, but you know, if we're fortunate enough to put this thing together, there was probably some doubters at the beginning of the year. I don't think there's too many doubters right now after we get through the Classic and started to turn a bit of a corner, but you know, it's far from a given for us, but we get this thing put together and come home with the blue trophy. I think this will be a memorable year.
Many of the kids, when they graduated, they'd write me a letter, and I just started keeping that. And you know, every now and again you have a bad day, and there's a lot of letters in these two binders nowadays, and you can ponder through those and walk back through memory lane, and they can fix just about any bad day, for sure. They all have a common theme about being pushed to do their best, and coaching staff believing in them and fighting for them. A certain level of growing up and maturity that took place in all their lives, and definitely pride in being a Bulldog.
I didn't really have my dad in my life when I was going through high school and all that. And I only had my grandma, and JD was a good person to look up to, him and Coach Little, so it was nice.
It didn't matter who you were, what your background was, where you came from, where you're going to. He was just there to be a father figure to you, and his motto was that, you know, never give up on someone, never give up on something that you're passionate about.
I've seen it multiple times where he's, you know, took this kid and turned him into a totally different person, you know, for the better.
Taught us a lot, taught us about life.
I would probably rank him in my top 3 of the most kind of influential men that I've been surrounded by, and I've known some really good men, I think, growing up. So,
Mark Corey, that's the first one. Yeah. Mentor, coach, and most importantly, a friend I love with all my heart. Father figure and a role model. What I love most about you, JD, is you never judge me. Instead, you turn to help me. I'll forever miss the pride and honor I felt whenever I'd walk into a tournament or duel next to you and next to our boys, with their heads held high. Yep.
Life's been pretty good to me. Real good. Can't think of too many things I'd change. You don't see something like that every day. People wonder why a person wants to live in Culver. Well, there you go. It's, who wouldn't, right?
It's just an amazing person to be around, honestly.
I got expelled from Madras, and JD, he come in and made sure that I graduated, you know. I mean, there's no way I could ever pay him back.
It means something to be a Bulldog. I mean, in our wrestling room, we've got a saying that says, standing tall, looking good, feeling proud. And that follows you through your whole life. I truly believe that.
Proud to be a Bulldog.
Yeah.